The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors, my co-host Derek Dukes. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is being taped on January 6th.
January 6th?
Yeah, last night I went to the Boston Bruins game. They played the Capitals. They lost 3-2. It was a really good game. Excuse me. I'd like to say one thing though about that. Only losing 3-2. You know, we had no Krejci, no Marchand.
Yeah.
You put those guys in the lineup, and I really do believe it's a total different game. You know, Rask stood on his head. He made some unbelievable saves.
It should have been 100-2 last night.
It was ridiculous, huh?
I mean, he was all over the place, and he definitely shined last night.
Yeah.
Big time.
Like I was telling you, I was 3 rows behind Tuukka Rask between the first and third, and then we had Braden Holtby down that end in the second. Holtby's a good goalie.
He's a great goalie.
He really is. He's we were talking on the hockey special I had a couple weeks ago. They really he's really come along. Like last year was kind of like a coming out party for Braden Holtby, and this year he's the best goalie right now, strictly because Carey Price has been injured. And I don't care what anybody says. That's my guy. I hate the Canadians, but I love Carey Price.
I know Price is still the best though.
Yeah,
He really is.
absolutely. Last night, the goals were scored by Louis Eriksson. And, oh, no, it's unbelievable. I had it in my head, too. Jesus.
Well, you were there.
I know I was there, but that's just me. But 3-2. The number 1 star of the game was Evgeny Kuznetsov of Washington. Number 2 star was Patrice Bergeron. And the number 3 star was Braden Holtby.
Yes.
He had, like I said, he had a great game.
Yep.
He really did. And Rask was phenomenal last night. He's really been the backbone of this Bruins team right now.
When you don't have a defense, you don't have a choice.
Exactly. And speaking of that, Adam McQuaid went down in the second period. He was hit from behind by Braden Stills, who I'm not sure yet. He might be suspended. He might get a suspension or a fine. No penalty was called.
Which is asinine.
Yeah. And then you should have said, like maybe 45 seconds later, the Bruins, hooks the guy and they call a penalty.
Yep.
The place was going bananas.
Here's the thing. Of course, in professional wrestling, where I come from, I understand that everything we do is scripted and staged and so forth. Okay, but the thing is we're still there to put on a show and take care of the people we're in the ring with.
Right.
I understand they're at opposite teams, but can you imagine? Maybe an inch more if he was down?
Oh, yeah.
He would have lost a face.
Oh, yeah. He would have hit that board. He just missed it. I mean, the board was down here, and his face hit right about here.
You saw his neck was right there at the board, but the way his neck crumbled and he went down, and you could see he was seeing stars.
Yeah.
But now that's terrible because now, of course, concussion.
Right.
You know what they're going to do about concussions nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Especially how deep it's gotten into concussions and
yes.
I'm okay. No, really, my head hurts a little bit. I have no, not anymore. They go, your head hurts.
Yeah, sit down.
Go see him, and him.
Exactly.
And they're the ones who make the decision on, no, he has a concussion. He's staying out until we know he's okay to do that.
Right.
But he was 5 minutes? He was down seriously.
At least 5 minutes. There's no doubt. At least 5 minutes on the ice.
I mean, being from the wrestling world and 18 years in the business, having 14 concussions that I even know of.
Right.
Which I've had a doctor tell me, okay, so we've diagnosed 14 in the last 18 years. What about the ones that weren't diagnosed?
Right.
So you saw him get up when they were helping him, and you could just see the dead look in his face.
He was lost.
He was lost. Guaranteed, that's a concussion.
He's going to be out for a little while. There's no doubt about it. It was a good game, though. It really was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the hockey game. On the way home, we were listening to the radio, the post game. And it's Adam Jones on 93.7.
93, yeah.
No, 98.5. I'm sorry. It was the Bruins channel.
Oh, okay, yeah. 98.5 and yeah, that's right. 98.5, no, 93.7, correct.
Right. So the Bruins are on 98.5. So Adam Jones kept saying that, I'm not making a big deal out of this, but why wasn't there any, why Zach Ronaldo was on the ice, and why didn't he do something about it? Well, I really do think that for once, really, that Zach was thinking with his head, why go at him when this was in the second period.
Yep.
You had all these other times to go get him later.
Oh, yeah.
Which, as I was watching the game, He was asking him to go. Tyler Randall was asking him to go. He didn't want to fight anybody.
No.
But I really do believe it was the right thing to do, because if he goes and retaliates now, instead of getting the power play, you know what I mean? Either they go on the power play for what Randall did, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or just keep it the way it is right now and take the power play, you know, or even go 4-on-4. So I really do believe that Zach did the right thing at that particular moment.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, and then he was saying on the radio that, you know, well, McQuaid would stand up for anybody. Well, yeah, and Zach will too, but I just think the time wasn't right to do it then. We were down by a goal. It was only 1-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And it was so funny because he kept saying it over and over. I'm not making a big deal out of this, and I'm talking to Ray on the ride home. And I'm like, well, yeah, you are, because you keep saying it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're not trying to make it a big deal, you would have brought it up once or twice, and that's it.
And not keep saying.
It was so funny. He kept saying, but I'm not. Well, obviously you are.
That's like poking the bear.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Keep poking the bear.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Then once or twice, like you said, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, we talked about it. But for, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it was about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because we actually, we had to drop Nicole off to Maria's mom because we had nobody to watch her. You know, so we, on the way home, we picked her up and, you know, and it was good. You know what I mean? The game was good. It was the first time I ever got to watch Alex Ovechkin live, and man, is he fast and big and strong.
Yeah.
Kuznetsov really impressed me. He's very fast and stick handling.
I know, for a guy that can't skate, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
This kid is he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. Great hockey player. I got him on my team, too. So even though, my fantasy team, even though he got a goal and an assist, which was good for my team, you know, I wanted the Bruins to win.
Of course.
But it was nice to see, at least, if someone's going to score on them, it's better that they're on my fantasy hockey
Yes.
team. I would, you know.
That's right.
Let's jump into some MMA talk.
Ooh, I don't know if you want to.
I know, but
because I could have sworn, straight up, man, I could have sworn that was going to go head-to-head for 5 because of the championship.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about UFC Fight Night, Dos Anjos versus Cowboy Cerrone.
Wow.
Derek thought, you know,
I thought
he got
5.
it right. He got it right, though. You said Dos Anjos.
Yeah, but I said in 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was going to go to a decision because those guys were just going to try to kill each other.
Yeah. And I was wrong. I thought Cowboy was going to win it in the second round. Instead, Dos Anjos knocked him out in the first round. TKO.
But in the first round,
I know. I was surprised.
I was blown away. There's
too.
no, you know what? Here's the thing, and we talk about this a lot. You look at the people, Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Okay, she's crazy. Look at all her fights. They didn't equal to a real heavyweight fight, even the time-wise, because how many times she was in there. So yeah, of course, Mike Tyson, people get beat.
Yep.
But I just wasn't expecting that to end that way.
Yeah.
And on a TKO,
Yeah, I know.
I was.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Yeah.
I really was. I thought this was Cowboys' time to shine. I really
Yep.
did. It's back to the drawing board.
All over.
You know?
Yeah, it's all over the way.
Definitely. Alistair Overeem defeated Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one either.
The second round, TKO.
I wasn't. Junior is he's. Man, how do you even consider his mindset? You can see when he's standing in that ring, he just wants to kill you.
Yeah. Oh,
you
he's
can
a
see
tough
that. Yeah, I know.
guy.
You see that look on his face.
yeah.
But second round TKO is like, are they really calling this?
Right.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
It was a really shocking fight night. It was.
Right. Well, probably the best best fight of the night was Nate Diaz with the unanimous decision over Michael Johnson. And I am a big Diaz brothers fan. I am.
Ditto, I am too, because they're
love
both
them.
badass guys and they both, talk a lot of trash.
Yes.
And they stand behind it. Yeah, of course they would get knocked down and so on and so forth, but when they talk, they go forward.
Right.
But I wasn't expecting that decision.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a lot closer.
Me too.
There was points where Nate was like just gesturing and
Yep.
going like this, and he'd throw the punch. Nate would slip, bang. Nate would hit him with a left, and it looked like he was fighting, toying with the kid.
Yes.
And Michael Johnson's tougher than that, but Nate's on his game right now.
I know, but that decision, I thought the decision would have went way over here.
Right. Yeah.
It was too close, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you looking at? What are you watching? What match are you watching? Because I didn't see it that close.
Well, we're going to talk about something like that was a very controversial decision in a minute. We're just going to cover a couple other fights from the fight night. Charles Oliveira with the first round decision over Miles Jury.
Yep.
That kind of shocked me too. That's a fight that I really thought would go the distance. Miles Jury's a tough kid.
Yeah.
You know, I was very shocked at that. But Charles Oliveira is very good. Nate Marquardt with the second round TKO over CB Dollaway.
Yep.
Never been a big CB fan.
I never have either, even from the beginning, from the Ultimate Fighter show.
Right.
Just not a fan.
Yeah, there's something about him I just don't enjoy watching.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Not a fan.
And then there was a women's fight, Carolina. Bear with me here. Kola Kaiwitz, I think that's how you say it, with the decision.
Yes.
3 rounds over Ronda Marcos. That was a good fight. I enjoy watching some women's fights. I really do. Especially when you don't know them, so there's no hype going in. So you kind of watch it more because you don't really know either one of them. So you're like, wow, who's what?
You want to see the technique of each one and see who handles and how they handle.
Right.
Yes.
And I didn't even know any type of game plan they were going into because I was not familiar with either girls. But it was a good fight.
Yep.
But definitely, I think the fight of the night was Diaz and Johnson. And they're saying now, Frankie Edgar's going to be mad, I guess, because they're going to give Nate the shot against Conor. They're saying.
Really?
Yeah. And this will be the first time Conor's going to be.
Where did you hear that?
I heard it pretty much right after the fights. They were talking about it.
Really?
Yeah. Now, if that goes on, this will be the first time Conor fights someone that he's not bigger than.
Exactly.
And Nate's on a roll right now. He's won 4 or 5 of his last fights. He's always impressed me. Really, it's like I said, I'm a big fan of him.
Yep.
But he really looked good. He really looked good on the 19th. So just over the weekend, we had UFC 195.
Yep.
January 2nd to open up the year. There was a couple of decent fights, but I really just want to talk about the main event and the semi-main event. Stipe Mike Chich, I forget.
Koscheck?
Is that no? It's right there. Moychik.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, he TKO'd Andrei Arlovsky. At least we know how to say his name.
That's right.
In the first round. That was another surprising. I didn't see that happen.
It was a boring fight, though.
Yeah, it was. It didn't last long.
Well, but it wasn't.
Well,
It wasn't like neither guy looked hungry.
True.
It just was kind of a boring fight. You could see that nobody was really ready. It just kind of was a bang bang. Oh, okay, yay, and wow, it's just a weird fight.
Arlovsky's been up and down his whole career.
I know.
At one point he was the UFC heavyweight champion and stuff.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Which in the wrestling business, you're on top of the world, you're main eventing, and all of a sudden, you're a curtain jerker.
Yeah.
Or you're a mid-carder.
That happens to a lot of guys.
And it really does, too, and especially in professional wrestling. But when it comes to an MMA fighter,
yeah,
that must feel like a baseball bat to the head.
Yeah.
Because in wrestling, of course, the way it works, the popularity, so on and so forth, the next guy on deck, so on and so forth, how it goes up, passing the torch. But in MMA, there's no passing the torch.
Right.
You either win or you lose.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, because there's no pass. You're right.
But look where this kid is. He's mid-carding.
Yeah, all of a sudden. When he came back to the UFC, he won the first couple of fights. It looked good. I was like, wow, he's back.
He did good.
Andre's back. But the last 2 fights, he hasn't done well.
He didn't look good.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
It looked very sloppy.
Yeah. He probably had a rough camp. Who knows? A lot of times these guys fight and they got injuries.
Of course.
And they don't cry about them afterwards.
Nope.
Some guys do.
Yep.
Some guys, boxers, a lot of boxers will. I didn't have a trainer. I had a bruised rib.
Tito Ortiz.
I didn't have much sparring and stuff like that. But,
Tito Ortiz. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Now, one of the biggest controversies in a while in MMA was the main event. Welterweight champion, ruthless Robbie Lawler, took on Carlos Condit. Went the distance.
Yep.
They gave a split decision victory to Robbie Lawler.
Yep.
A lot of people really think Condit won. He did connect with more strikes, but the heavier blows were definitely struck by Lawler.
Correct.
Robbie's got heavy hands.
Yep.
Both hands.
It's good to see him on top again. He's
I
do too.
Like
I'm going to use some wrestling terminologies toward him. He's a really strong worker. You can see that his focus is back where it's supposed to be now. Not that it wasn't before, but you can see he's a lot more hungry now, and he wants to keep what he has. Now that he has it, you're not taking it from me.
Right.
He looks great.
The first time I saw Robbie fight is when he fought Nick Diaz.
Oh, my God.
That was the first time I saw
Yeah.
him. And Robbie was, landing some shots, and then all of a sudden, Nick hit him with one shot. And remember we were talking about the Conor and the Aldo fight where, lights out? It was kind of like that, too, in a way, except he wasn't throwing a punch like Aldo was.
Yep.
He got hit, and his arms went. And then he went straight down.
takes
It was
that
like
one
he
spot.
got hit and he didn't go right down. It was a delayed reaction, but you could see it in his face. He was out.
He was out. You could see he was
Boom,
out. Standing.
down he goes
Yeah.
face first. Like I said, most people think Condit won. I expect a rematch. I really, really do. I mean, I don't
well,
see
yeah.
why they shouldn't have one.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yep.
It went the distance. It was controversial. So
That was, I mean, you get a, man, if it goes the distance in a heavyweight match, that is a lot of, stress toward both fighters because usually a fighter wants to only do the 3.
right.
Because by 2, they're already, wrestling terminology, blown up again.
Oh yeah, it's
And
tough, dude.
5?
I've sparred with people just with boxing gloves on, and the wind you lose right away. Like, I mean, after 60, 70 seconds, I'm not in shape.
Right.
I'm just saying, it's like, it's hard.
Yep.
It's hard. I mean, in the constant learning, you have to learn how to breathe when you're fighting
Correct.
and all that, You tend to stop because you're in a big scrap.
And you don't realize it, and every time you do that, you're not filling your lungs, so you're not relaxing.
Right.
And now everything is more stress, and your blood pressure's up, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
That's what these guys do.
Definitely. Well, we got a big fight coming up in 2 weeks. T.J. Dillashaw will be defending his title against Dominic Cruz. That ought to be a really good fight. I want to see what mind shape Dillashaw is going to be in after we know the stuff that's going on
Yeah.
with the camp out in Uriah Faber's camp. He left, decided to go out with what's his name now? I know it too.
Brother, I'm still shocked that he left that camp.
Yeah, me too.
That was...
They were like brothers.
I
those
know,
guys.
and it's just so weird because the chemistry they even had together
Yeah.
was gold.
Yeah. And they said they'd never fight each other. Well, I think that's
Well,
done.
guess what?
They're going to fight each
There's
other
going to be
now. I really do. I think they will end up fighting each other.
Yes.
Which would be a great fight. I really do like Uriah, but TJ's a tough kid, man.
A scrapper, that's
You
why.
don't even, I'm just saying, nothing for nothing. You look at him, you don't see. You look at some fighters, for instance, you look at Robbie Lawler.
Yep.
You just look at him and wow, I wouldn't want to fight that
Yeah,
guy. Look at him.
I don't want him to punch me.
Yeah, look at that guy. He
Yep.
looks like a tough guy.
Yep.
TJ, the blonde hair, little cute guy, you know what I mean?
But he's a scrapper.
Oh, he is.
Yes.
He is. He's very technical.
Yep.
Dominic Cruz is a great fighter, too. This should be a great fight.
Yeah.
It could easily be up there for Fight of the Year when it's all said and
be.
done. It
Yep.
really could be. Luke Cool Hand Sanders is taking on Maximo Blanco. That ought to be a good fight. I'm not too familiar with Maximo.
Yeah.
But Luke's a tough kid. Tim Bosch is taking on Ed Short Fuse Herman.
Yes.
Another guy with the Ultimate Fighter. I never was a big fan of him either.
And
But he is a scrapper.
And see, that's another thing. He is another scrapper. And he was also one of those guys that was, excuse the terminology, like a flash in the pan.
Right.
He'd come out, guns blazing, and then you go, where did Ed go?
Right.
Because he lost a few, and then lost a few more.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? I got to put my game face back on.
He is a tough kid, though.
He is,
I
he
will
is.
say that. I'm not going to take nothing away from him because he's not one of those guys where I don't want to watch him
Yeah,
fight.
of course, yep.
I just wasn't a big fan of him. There's another really good fight on that card. Patrick Cote from Montreal
Yep.
taking on Ben Saunders from the Ultimate Fighter. They actually both were on the Ultimate Fighter
Yep.
show. I met Patrick Cote at when the first time the UFC was in Boston. I took Jaize, he was just a baby, to the what do they have that? The thing that they have beforehand.
Like the meet and greet and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
They I forget what they call it now, but we went, me and Jaize, he was little. Nobody wanted to go. I was going to go by myself, and at the last minute, I just looked. That's when Maria's daughter, Jessica, and Jai was living with us. And I said, yeah, get him dressed. I'm going to take him. Because he was free. Didn't
Right.
cost me anything. He was like under 5 years old.
Yep.
He was like 2.5, 3 years old.
Yep.
Real quick story about that day, though. This was really, really cool. Patrick Cote's in line. Was standing there, and there's a big line. So, we were standing there for a minute. I was just taking pictures from a distance. And I couldn't really stand in lines because I had a 2.5-year-old. He's not going to want to
Yep.
stay there. So what I did was I watched how every time someone would come, Patrick would talk to his wife for a minute. And then he'd go like this. So after 2 people, I said to Jaize, I said, go up to him and go say hi. He walks over there. And from a distance, I take the picture. And Patrick looks down, and I can hear them. And he looks down and goes, what's up, buddy? And Jaize just looks at him, and his wife scoops him right up. Whoa, I get real close. Click. Picture. So
Perfect.
I screw up the line.
Perfect.
It was really perfect.
Perfect.
But that same day, we met so many fighters. We met Punk Ass from Tap Out.
Yep.
We met Jorge Rivera from Massachusetts.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We met
Yeah.
him. We met Short.
Another great fighter, by
Yeah.
the way.
Oh, yeah. Pat Barry It was so funny. Isaiah was standing next to him, and he didn't like really know he was there yet. When he was talking, he swung his head. He missed his head by like that much, and I mean, literally, he was like on his knee talking to another little kid. He would have knocked Isaiah out. It would have been so bad.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. We'll kind of get that in a second. It's kind of funny you bring that up. I went to this shows you how far back I go.
Right.
I was in California at the time, and I went to a fight where B.J. Penn fought the redneck.
Matt Hughes?
Matt Hughes.
Oh,
okay.
Those were good fights.
So that
They
was
fought a few
back.
times.
That was back then.
Right.
And you go in, and of course the octagon. These guys are just sitting there. You can walk up. How you doing? Shake. Hey, what's going on, brother? Stop. Quick
Nice.
picture. They're not like out doing like the WWE guys do. Like they
Right.
get in line and next and next.
Yeah.
No, because now remember, like I said, so if that was B.J. Penn back then, you have the Iceman sitting there,
Right,
and
right.
the Iceman was sitting, just talking to people, and people just
That's
walking
awesome.
up, talking. But that goes to show you that I understand the professional wrestling thing, so on and so forth, but it just goes to show you that no one is going to step to them.
Right.
They know who these guys are about. I understand what I do is scripted again, but here's the thing. If you and I are standing here, bro, and all of a sudden the Iceman's in front of us,
Right.
we're going to be, what's up, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
Do you really think the drunk behind us is going to be like, oh, Iceman, I'll take the Iceman? Really?
Right.
Because he'll crack you.
Well, you got guys like that.
You do, but you can tell that these guys,
They laugh
what are you
it
going to
off.
do?
Yeah, they laugh it off.
So there's Chuck Liddell standing there just with his crazy haircut, in his seat, talking to people coming up, taking pictures, shaking hands. I really enjoyed that.
Right.
Where in my profession, we're all backstage. We can't go outside.
Right.
We can't go meet and greet the people. But I loved it because I went into the place in in California. I'm there, and there's Tito Ortiz sitting with his wife, and
Right.
and you're just like, oh my God, are these guys really doing this?
Right. That's pretty cool.
That is really cool, and I really like that.
Right. Yeah, me too. I like that a lot.
Again, who's going to step to these guys?
Oh, shit. Only an idiot.
Who's going to step to Tito Ortiz?
Right. An idiot.
Who's going to step to the Iceman?
Yeah.
Who's going to step to B.J. Penn?
Right. No
You've
doubt.
seen him throw a punch.
tell
Oh
you.
my God.
Those are tough
George
men.
St. Pierre was sitting in the front row, and he was talking to a bunch of George St. Pierre talking to a bunch of ladies.
Right.
And every time someone would come over, he'd stop for a second, shake a hand,
Take a picture.
take a picture.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person. That's the kind of people these guys are.
Right.
When they get into that octagon, they close that door.
Different person, different mindset.
Totally different mindset. Like I told you about, you and I can sit here and do this and talk to them, and I can go out and meet people. But I'll tell you right now, when I'm backstage and my music hits and I hit that aisle,
You ready?
you go, that's not the guy I sit with every week.
Right.
Because that is your mindset.
Right.
With them, their mindset is, hey, I'm here for you guys. Thank you so much. As soon as that door closes in the octagon,
Right.
now I'm the Iceman. Now I have to kill you.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah. That same day, real quick, we went out for lunch. We left the building because the food was ridiculously priced in the building.
course
right?
it is.
So we went out, and on our way back in, we see Randy Couture standing outside on the telephone of a restaurant.
Wonderful.
So we walk by, and I look at Jai. I'm like, you want to get your picture taken? He's like, yeah, all right. What does he care? He
Right.
doesn't even know, but he
Right.
just wants his picture taken. So Randy, I wait till he's off the phone. I say, excuse me, can I get a picture of my grandson? He's like, yeah, no problem. So I give him the picture. I take a picture. Bang, came out beautiful, right? He hands me back. I said, you better go, because a million people, like not a million, but a bunch of people
Yep.
were running towards him. I said, you better get in that restaurant. And here comes about 20 people. Boom, he goes inside. Everyone's like, wow, you're so lucky, so lucky. Yeah, I am. I'm very lucky. After we left that, we're going back into the building, and there is, he's fighting for Bellator now. Phil Davis.
Oh, yeah.
He's interviewing people outside. So real quick, I just want to tell this quick story about that. So he decides he's going to interview us. So he says to Jai, hey, who's your favorite fighter? Jai said, Spider-Man. I was like, that's how funny he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he didn't know. So I whispered in his ear, Chuck. So he goes over and he goes, Chuck. He can hear Jai saying, Chuck. So he's like, oh, that's a good fighter. That Chuck's one of my favorites, too. But that was a great day. It was a day that I'll never forget.
Right.
Isaiah probably will never remember. He was just a little kid.
But you got the pictures to prove
I
it.
do have the picture. The picture of Randy Couture, it's like incredible. MMA legend, if not the biggest legend.
Captain America.
Oh, absolutely. But that was really, really
Good
cool.
stuff, good
Yeah,
stuff.
real good stuff. All right, so the main card of that Dillashaw Cruise, we got Ross Pearson versus Francisco
Yep.
Trinaldo, Travis Brown versus Matt Mitrione. That's definitely going to be an interesting fight. Travis Brown, who happens to be Ronda Rousey's boyfriend.
Yep.
Who also has smacked around his wife, his ex-wife, a few times, and after Ronda's talking about Floyd Mayweather, they get back together. Kind of a little silly thing to be
Yeah.
talking about. But that's going to be good for Eddie Alvarez versus Anthony Pettis. That's
I like
the
Alvarez.
Me too. I do too. Pettis is tough, though.
Yeah, but
He's
I'm a
the
fan of Alvarez.
He's the one that did that kick off as he climbed the wall, the cage.
That
was one of the biggest highlights.
I would have to call that the
clip.
Superman kick.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a great.
That was.
What a great finisher.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a tough kid too. That's going to be a real good
Yeah.
fight. That easily could be fight of the night. But Travis Brown and Matt Mitrione, that's going to be good. Mitrione's going to try to take him down, and Travis is just going to try to bang him.
He's a grappler.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
Exactly. So it should be good.
Should be a good match because you have a grappler in there against a fighter.
Yes. Yes.
So that's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to go up and down all time.
Right. We're not going to talk about the Patriots this week because there's a bye. I'll have a chance to talk about them next week.
Yep.
But there's some real big wrestling news.
Ooh.
This is
Come on.
incredible.
Shaking.
New Japan Pro Wrestling stars AJ Styles, Luke Dog Gallows, Carl Machine Gun Anderson, and Shinsuke Nakamura have given notice to New Japan.
By the way, AKA the Bullet.
Well, yeah, the Bullet Club.
Right.
Nakamura wasn't in the Bullet Club, was he?
Yes.
Oh, okay, he wasn't. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so all four of them from the Bullet Club. They've given notice and will be heading to the WWE. Now, Nakamura will be staying behind a little bit because he's the champ and he's got to drop the belt and all that.
Also, when it comes to the Bullet Club, there was two other guys who were a tag team.
Yeah, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks, and they're not going.
Right. But that doesn't mean they won't be there eventually.
I'm not saying they're not going to go.
Right.
But at
They're
the
not going
moment,
now.
they. But it kills me too because AJ's never worked for Vince, but
Right.
Luke has.
Yeah, Luke has his Festus and
Yeah.
And what was he Luke Gallows when he was in
Yes, he was
in the Straight Edge Society
Correct.
with
He
Punk.
was his real name.
Yeah.
And then he went over to TNA as Aces and Eights.
Oh, that's right. He was in Aces. I forgot about
Yep,
that.
so his
I forgot
contract
about
was.
that.
Speaking of going back and forth, I know we're talking about
Yeah.
because I'm excited about AJ thing. There's been a lot of sightings of a lot of TNA superstars over at NXT.
Yeah.
So James Storm, who I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Don't know him as a person, even though I did work a very short time.
I read something about him today, so I'm waiting till you talk
Yeah,
about this.
I think he's a terrible worker. I'm sorry. I usually will call a spade a spade. I don't like him as a.
Okay.
I don't
but
know him as a
everyone has
person.
their opinion, so that you're entitled
See,
to that.
I don't know him as a person.
Right.
But I did party with him a few times when I did work for them. When I should say party, we sat before the matches and had a few drinks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a great worker. I don't think he's a good worker at all. I think he's. I can't use the terminology that we use for what we think of, how they work on this television, of course. I just don't think he's a good worker at all. And he went back to TNA.
Right. Yes, that's what I read.
Yeah.
Now, I think he's a pretty decent worker. I do. But again, my opinion. He has his opinion. I have my opinion, and it's okay to disagree.
Better believe it.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. For us to have a show and sit here and agree on everything would be boring.
Nobody
anyways.
would watch
It would
this.
be boring.
Nobody would watch
You know, I mean, I do like Cowboy. I was Cowboy James Storm, not Cerrone.
Right.
When he went to NXT, the first time I saw him, he looked out of shape.
Are you kidding me?
Am I
Looked
right, though?
horrible.
Didn't he? I mean, he always wasn't. I'm not going to sit and say he was in six-pack shape, but he was always in good shape.
He looked terrible.
He did. He looked horrible.
And again, I'll use the terminologies if anyone ever has a question. Of course, I'll cover it, but because I'm going to shoot on him, it's the fact of the matter of that I watched him in Impact and watched the way he works, and within the next first 2 or 3 minutes, the guy's blown up.
Right.
He's blown up, and you can see that he's trying harder than he can do. And I'm sorry, I just don't think he's a good worker, and I think the character sucks. I think that him as a worker, I think he's terrible. I didn't know what the hell they were thinking over at NXT, grabbing onto him. I'm thinking of all people,
Right.
maybe Samoa Joe had something to say about it because of who he was.
Yeah.
And what he
I
did.
believe that probably was. Put in a good word.
Which definitely, because I can tell you right now, I know Paul, Triple H, is going to Joe and saying, hey, Joe, how about Leo Connors? What do you think about him? How about this? How
He can
about that?
cook real good.
Exactly. He's cooked for me too. Cooked me quite a few times. But I know he's going to Joe for information about other wrestlers. Of course,
Right. He has to.
he has
He
to
doesn't
be.
know about them.
Of course not, because where's the only place Samoa Joe has never worked?
Right.
The WWE.
Right.
He's been in Ring of Honor. He's
Yep.
been in Japan. He's been everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sorry, what in the hell were they thinking bringing Storm over?
Well, guess what? You were right in a way because that's how Triple H definitely thought because he's gone. I think
that
James
quick.
Storm. I think James Storm thought he was going to get right in there. Come in, I'll go to NXT. They'll bounce me right back up. Well, I think that because he wasn't in shape right away like that, Triple H kind of was like, "Wow,
You gotta-
here's your opportunity,
Right.
to come in and make a statement." And you're not even in
Especially with
shape.
all the talent that's out.
Yeah.
All the talent that is injured or whatever.
Right.
You know, you could have come in there and been the worst wrestler in the world, but you showed some heart and been a star about it. It would have been no problem.
Right.
So what does this guy do? He comes in and he works a curtain jerker match for NXT. They were like, "Oh, James Storm is here," and of course
Fans popped huge.
and they did pop because the music popped and he did his thing. And this 3 minutes into the match, I'm going, "Bring this home, please.
Right.
You're killing me. Bring this
Right.
home." But also remember one thing. I will go back to WCW for a minute. When the WCW guys went to work for WWF,
Yep.
you know why people like Goldberg and them quit? One, you have to work my schedule,
Yeah.
not yours.
That's right.
Number two, you were in my ring. You're going to work my way. And people like Goldberg, who is not a real professional wrestler, was like, "Well, I can't work this kind of time, and I can't do this, and I can't do that." And that's another reason why they were like, "Okay, then, okay, so here's your last match." "Oh, what? No, okay, we're good. You're good." And that's what happened. Storm thought, "Oh, okay, so I'm already over here. They're going to let me up." I think Triple H saw that. What the hell am I doing? This
Right.
guy was blown up in 3 minutes, and the match wasn't even over yet. It was only a 7-minute curtain jerker match anyway. And in the first 3 minutes, you would see he was blown up.
Right.
Even the guy he was working, excuse the terminology, jobber, which means a guy who just goes in the ring to lose, the jobber was making him look bad.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed about
Not at
that at
all.
all. But I'm back with the
Yes.
New Japan Pro Wrestling
With
guys.
AJ, man.
They gave their notice that morning of Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Yep.
And they were kind of taken back. They kind of changed around the show a little bit. They put a beating on AJ.
Which is always the best way for someone to leave.
Yes.
Better
yes.
believe it.
I'm just curious on how are they going to book AJ? What are they going to do with him? I really hope they don't drop the ball with this kid. This kid is a phenomenal worker. No pun
intended on his name.
Exactly.
That's right.
He really is that good.
Yes, he is.
And if they knew, if the fans in NXT and all that know Samoa Joe, then they're going to know who AJ Styles
You better believe it.
too,
Those guys
who
have had
is.
some battles.
I'd like to see him make a debut at the Rumble. I really would. I'd
know.
like to see him come in, somewhere in the middle where he lasts. Maybe he wins. Who knows? I don't know. Obviously.
Right.
But I'd like to see him come in and do well and stay in for a while. Build him up right away. I mean, you can't.
Speaking of that, we got to talk about that in a minute. The
but-
Rumble thing.
Yeah.
We're upset about
but,
that.
And Doc Gallows and Kyle Anderson, hopefully they keep them as a team.
I know.
I think they'll do well.
I think they're bringing them over because of what's going on in the tag team division.
Right.
I do.
Right.
AJ,
I hope so.
Me too. I told you, and told you time and time again, I love tag team
Me too.
factions.
I love it.
I love tag team.
Me too.
Speaking of factions, they have a new faction out.
Yes, I have it written down right
Exactly. So that's the thing. You can see that the faction gimmick is coming
back, yeah.
And I love it because it gives them more ring time. It lets them be who they want to be.
Right.
You know what? Do me a favor. Here's your torch. Run with it.
Right.
Show me what you can do.
Right.
So now we have a new faction in the WWE.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second because we're going to go over the Monday Night Raw results.
Yes.
So a lot of fans are saying, with the Bullet Club coming over,
Mm-hmm.
are they going to bring the rest of them? Well, I know WWE wants to have that working arrangement with New Japan.
Well, technically, they already have one Bullet Club member over.
Who's that?
Finn Balor.
Oh, yes. That's what I was reading, too. They were saying it could be the Balor Club.
That's correct, because Balor was the original
Right.
Bullet Club
Right.
over there. No,
The leader.
correct. You had Balor. You had Davey Boy's son.
Yep, Harry Smith.
Okay, you had all these guys over
Right.
there. Harry already had his run.
Yep.
Why they ever let him go?
I still don't understand
I still don't
that.
understand.
I
I
don't.
still don't even know why you wouldn't re-sign another guy from the dungeon.
Right.
I think
True.
anyone who trains in the dungeon should work for the WWE forever because that is real professional wrestling right there.
Right.
But there's your original guy right there. So Balor, of course, already being over there, they steal him, bring him over. You can see already what kind of person he is.
Right.
He is spectacular, that kid.
Great worker. I love watching him. His
spec-
entrance is phenomenal, too. Captivate anybody watching
Next
his entrance.
to, I think, my best entrance in the whole world, I think, would be Triple H's entrance. Has always been the best to me.
I like this Triple H's, yeah.
Definitely. But you know
definitely.
what? Balor's is definitely the best entrance. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
It's just when the lights go out and he's got that
And that
body
music,
paint
and you got the
on.
paint on. It's totally right.
It's amazing.
Perfect.
It's
Yep.
amazing. And like I said, it'll captivate a 70-year-old guy all the way down to a 7-year-old girl.
Yep.
I mean, it just captivates
Yep.
you. It really does. And then when he gets in the ring, he backs it up 100%.
Yes.
You know, he does. He really does. Finn Balor is, I can see the future.
Yep.
Part of the future of the WWE. But going back to Harry Smith real quick and factions. Back then, when Harry was here, they were going to try to pull the new Hart
Foundation, correct.
But Teddy screwed that up.
Yep.
And I've met Teddy a few times, and he's kind of crazy. He really is.
I know.
I hung out with him one night, me, Trent, Acid, and Teddy at a Ring of Honor show, and he's nuts.
He's out of his mind.
He really
Yeah.
is. Just the things he talks about, and whatever. He's definitely eccentric.
Yep.
Like he makes his own clothes and things like that, and he can work. But I'll never forget the night. I wasn't there. It wasn't in Massachusetts, but the night that they had that tag team scramble.
Yeah.
And he was pulling off these dives off the top of the cage. And a guy that I'm hoping to get on this show real soon, I talked to him last week, ECW original, Tony DeVito,
Yep.
who also worked in the WWE back in the day.
Yep.
Wicked cool guy. I love Tony. He's a
Yep.
really nice guy. Treats me really good, which is nice. It's always nice when you're not, in the business. And
Another
people
paisan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, and they treat you good. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
But was just, Tony is going to, hopefully, like I said, be on the show. He was so mad at Teddy for just doing these dives off the ropes and stuff like that. And he wanted to kill him. I guess Joe threw his Samoa Joe threw his bags
Back up. Yep.
outside and all
Yep.
that. And things changed for Teddy after that. Yeah, he didn't really come back to Ring of Honor for a while.
Nope.
But like I said, Teddy's a good worker, but he screwed that up for Tyson, Natty,
Definitely.
and Harry
Yep.
because they were going to pull this thing off, and it probably would have been really good, and it would have got over.
I
'cause,
think it would have been great.
Brett would have came down with them, and it's too bad. I mean, technically it could happen, but I doubt Teddy's ever going to change.
No.
I really don't think he's ever going to change. He's been working in Mexico. I guess he's living in Texas now.
Yeah.
I find all these things out by listening to a lot of podcasts.
Right.
I listen to a lot of podcasts at work, something to do, while
Yes.
I'm working. Monday Night Raw results from
Yep.
this past Monday, January 4th. The show opened up, with was it Stephanie coming down the ring and Roman having their little
Yep.
talk back and forth.
Like they do every Monday night.
Like they do, yeah. And I don't know. A lot of that times I'll just fast forward it, to be totally honest with you. I caught a little bit of it. Talking about Vince is a 70-year-old guy, and now Roman, you're going to have a hard time defending the title because my father's the referee,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, then the first match was Kevin Owens versus Neville. The week before, Neville beat Owens in like less than 60 seconds.
And he went crazy.
Yeah, and he beat him up.
Yep.
Well, this time Owens put a beating on Neville.
Yep.
Hit him with the the pop-up power bomb.
Yep.
Boom, 1, 2, 3, no problem. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens definitely should be. We were talking push.
Yep.
Release should be pushed to the moon.
Oh, I agree.
Fat guy that
That
can
guy
wrestle.
that can wrestle. Amen.
wrestle.
And you can quote that on my chest.
Right.
That kid, the way he works, and what I love about that kid is he's not the gym rat, so on and so forth.
not at all.
You know what? He goes to the ring and he does his thing, and he's not. Man, it's just I really appreciate his talent. Then
So talented.
I don't know him as a person, young kid. I've never
Right.
met him.
I met him a couple times.
You've never-
He was cool. He was very cool.
Over Ring of Honor, probably.
No, actually, it was for the House of Hardcore
Okay,
when I catered those shows.
that is definitely one guy. When I head back home, that's one guy I got to catch up with. Like, man, let me buy you a drink. I want to talk. I would love to talk to that kid.
He's a nice, like he wasn't really like out and open, but when I asked for pictures and stuff like that, when he was talking to him about the food and stuff, he was just nice. He was cool.
And-
Unlike CM Punk, who was always a jerk, to be honest with you. But let's stay on topic here because Owens was cool.
Let's not do CM Punk. Yeah, please.
The next match we had Stardust versus Titus O'Neil. Again, though, we're pushing the push from the week
What are we
before.
doing?
I like O'Neil, though, so I was happy that they let him win because remember we said it last week. I like Titus
Yep.
O'Neil. I really do. And if you're ever going to give him something, now's the time. He's 38 years old. If you're going to do it, does he have that star quality? I don't know. They haven't given him a chance to show it. He's a big dude, I'll tell you that much.
I mean,
and he's in shape.
For a 40-year-old guy, for a 38-year-old guy,
almost 40, yeah.
he's a monster.
Yeah.
And he stays in that kind of shape. And is the fact of the matter of, is there such thing as a retirement age in pro wrestling? No. But is there such a thing as, okay,
You should
I
retire?
really should stop this. You know, Ric Flair in his 60s and stuff like that finally said, I can't do it anymore. Hulk Hogan in his 60s, I can't do it anymore. These guys stopped for a reason. Stone Cold Steve Austin, everyone, one more match. He can't.
Right.
If he bumps, he will die. He's got so much.
Right.
Oh my! I can imagine him bumping, hitting his head. I'm not saying he's out of shape. What I'm saying is that all it takes is the wrong move to bump, and he breaks his neck, and he's done.
Right.
He's had so many surgeries and so much wrong with him.
I know.
That's why he couldn't go back into the ring after that after that match with The Rock, his last match.
Yep.
I mean, he had to do what he did. I'm glad he's still with the WWE doing his thing, and I really appreciate that. But it's just the fact of the matter of a match like that, I really was like,
Right.
wow. Especially with Stardust.
Yeah, I know.
Enough.
Right.
The gimmick is gone.
He needs to come back as Cody Rhodes. He really does. And if you do bring him back as Cody, you got to push him. He's the son of Dusty Rhodes. The kid is a great wrestler.
He is.
There's no doubt about it. Maybe he's a tag. I'd like, when he was tag teaming with DiBiase Jr.
Yep.
I really like that. A lot of people were saying Teddy Jr. couldn't work, but I didn't notice that it was that bad. I really didn't know. People I've read so many times that, oh, he was horrible. I never noticed that he was that bad. And I'm a fan of wrestling. I really never saw that he was bad as what I've read.
Do you know who trained Teddy?
No.
Holly Race.
How can he be bad then?
Are you trying to? I'd
Right.
like anyone
Right.
in the wrestling world to say, oh, no, Holly.
Right.
Holly Race?
Right.
Use that name around anyone in the old school wrestling, they go, Holly Race?
Yeah, exactly.
You mean Mr. Race?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was trained by Holly Race. So you know the kid has got talent. You know because of who his father is and father in the business. He was into the business. But I just think he got tired.
Yeah, he didn't I guess he wasn't I think he more did it for his dad than himself.
He was not into it.
Right. Now his brother was, but his brother didn't have nearly as much talent, Michael.
I'm sorry, Michael doesn't have any talent.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's my opinion
No,
again.
I hear you. A
don't
lot of
think-
people feel that
I
way,
thought
too.
Michael didn't have any talent.
I don't even think he wrestles anymore either.
No,
to be
I
honest
think
with
he
you.
just, back working at Walmart, whatever he's
Right,
doing. But
right.
I'll tell you right now, if anyone if I would have pushed anyone, it would have been Teddy.
Yeah.
I would have gave him
Right.
a ridiculous push.
And I liked them when they were with Randy. That was a good little gimmick, the
Yep.
legacy. Becky Lynch pinned Charlotte in a non-title match. I forgot to mention that too in the Owens-Neville match. That was also a non-title. But,
Yep.
that time the champ went over. This time, the challenger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it wasn't a title match, but Becky went over on Charlotte. Rick tried to trip her up, and
Yep.
all things happened. The roll up and roll through, and 1, 2, 3. Why are they breaking them up like that? I don't
I know.
understand. They made up these 3-team factions with the women, the 3 of them,
Yep.
the Team Bella, the Team
Yep.
Bad, and, Team Flair. Is that what they're called, Team Flair? No, they were called something else, I think. But obviously it didn't captivate either one of us' attention.
Well, see, the whole thing is see how I have no idea about a woman's faction. You know what I watch? I watch the best professional women wrestlers work.
Right.
I don't care what this fashion is. I don't
Right.
care what. Listen, when it comes to tag teams and factions like that, that's a little different. Factions mean something when it comes
Yeah.
to that. When it comes to the ladies, I would rather watch a whole night of Monday Night Raw of all the professional lady wrestlers. I don't want to use the word diva, man.
Right. No, I hear ya.
I think that's
Right.
ridiculous. I
Right.
really do. I'm sorry that they have to do, TNA uses the knockouts. Enough.
Right.
Enough of that
The woman
stuff.
wrestlers.
They're professional wrestlers. And to watch the boss,
Oh, she's the best, right?
to
now, I
watch
think.
Becky,
Yep.
to watch Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that people like Tamina, I know who your dad is, great, but she's got no talent.
No, she's been around a long time.
And that's the whole
too,
thing.
with
I don't
no
know
talent.
why they're hanging on to her.
Right.
She's got no talent.
I think it's because of her size. She's bigger than the other girls. Do you know what I mean?
Right, and hence over at NXT with Rock's cousin.
Yeah, Nia Jax. Yeah.
Will she make it to the main roster?
I hope so.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Because she's got talent and she comes from that family.
Right.
I understand where Tamina came from. Tamina, her work ethic is terrible.
No, I've never seen her get any better. I've never watched
No.
her and go, wow, she's so improved. Like, even
Wow.
the Bellas have improved. You know what I mean? Like,
Of course.
They were hard. They worked hard. And they've gotten better. I'm still, obviously I love looking at Nikki, but whatever.
Johnny does too.
Oh, I'm sure Cena does too. Yeah, he gets to see a lot more than we do. All right, next up, we had Ryback with a no contest against Big Show because the Wyatts came down. and ended up stomping them both out. You know, took out Ryback right away, then went in and
Yep.
jumped the Big Show.
Again, if you look, the beginning faction,
Yeah.
there's your 4 guys right there.
Right. Well,
So-
3 at first.
Correct.
Originally.
Right.
Yeah.
And FYI, for the fans, supposedly, Sister Abigail's coming out.
Yeah, but they haven't said who it's going to be. Now, there's obviously, you know, his sister could be that person.
That's what I've heard.
You know?
Heard it's supposed to be the last of the Rotunda family.
Right.
And supposedly Sister Abigail is literally going to be
His
Ray's sister. Correct.
Yeah. So we'll see where that leads. They could go all different ways.
Mm-hmm.
There's real quick. There's a couple of girls that are in independent wrestling that would fit in there really good.
Oh, amen.
Mickey Knuckles.
Yep.
I'm just saying, really. You know what I mean? She would, because she's a badass.
Yep.
Even Crazy Mary Dobson. You know,
Yep.
honestly,
Yep.
she's a pretty decent looking girl too. It would be interesting. I'd like to see them do something like that instead of bringing someone that we already know that's already signed by the
Yeah.
company. Shock us, surprise us,
Yep.
give us something we don't expect.
Yep.
Then and again, back to the Rusev. Ryback.
Yep.
Big Show didn't really do anything for me.
No.
Those are guys. I hate to say it. I fast forward through them, no matter who they're in the
I know.
ring with. I hate it. Rusev and Alberto Del Rio teamed up and defeated the Usos.
Again?
Yeah, again.
You mean again?
Yeah, well, they're trying to push that League of Nations.
I know, but
I know, and they keep
God.
putting them over the Usos, and I like the Usos. They're talented kids.
you know,
know?
here's your again. Here are guys who were the World Tag Team Champions, laying down every match.
Seems it.
Every match.
I know, it seems it. The new faction was up next. And that's what's crazy. I was laughing when it came up, but I was kind of glad to see this again. Now, here we go. What I just said. Shock us. Give me something I don't expect.
Boom.
Heath Slater comes out with Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, and Bo Dallas. They all have their little something to say. I'm sorry, but Axel sounded like an idiot.
Yep.
He really did.
Yep.
And I'm sorry about that because I think he can work.
His dad was the best.
Yeah, and I don't see why he doesn't have a lot of that. He can work in the ring, though. There's no
Definitely.
doubt. But Slater goes over Dolph Ziggler because of all the little half interference by the other 3 guys. Poor Dolph.
I know.
This kid was a foreman. They gave him the title a couple of times. They took it right off him right away.
Another one just laying down for people.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with, he was seeing Nikki Bella before Cena.
And
I really do. I think a
well,
lot of that
well,
happens backstage.
There's a lot of people that actually talk about that. They blame John for a lot of their things that happened to them, shall we say.
Alex
for their
Riley.
bad luck. Alex Riley for one of them.
Yeah.
Now Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Yes, Dolph, a long time ago,
He can work.
and he's a great worker. And look, he's back where he down there. It's a lot of guys blame Johnny for their demise, and they really do.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, I can't say that I go to John's
can
house
I.
and go, John,
Right.
why are you doing that to this guy? Oh,
Right.
because I don't like
yeah,
him.
we would know. And you're not going to ask his dad when you see him either. You
No.
know, you know what I mean? Like,
Because I've actually sat down with Mr. Steve, who's
right. I've had talks with
you know-
Mr. Cena too. You know what I mean? Just that show, that the MWF
Yep.
shows that he was always there, just talking about life, saying, your son did this, that was really cool to watch. I got Isaiah there,
Mm-hmm.
talks about John Cena because he loves him and stuff. He was always just such an awesome dude.
just a great guy.
Great guy.
I mean, I've sat with Mr. Steve. We've had, he smokes cigars
Yeah.
like I do, so we smoked together and we've talked. And back a long time ago, Mr. C and I had heat, and it was accidental heat. And finally, one day, I said, Mr. C, can I talk to you? He said, of course. We sat down and we squashed it. We've been great ever
Nice.
since.
He's a great guy.
He's a wonderful guy, and I'm kind of glad because I love talking to Johnny. I love listening to him. I love listening to him. It's so funny. John Cena Sr. we're talking
Yeah,
about,
right,
by the way. John Cena
right.
Sr.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that when he's sitting there talking, you see other wrestlers come up and go,
Yeah, well, they want to sit around. They know that his son is the main guy. It was brought up the right way, too.
they want to listen to it. That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. The New Day defeated, all 3 of them, defeated Kalisto and the Dudley Boys.
Again.
The New Day, I don't know. One week I'm watching them, I really enjoy them, and then the next week they're annoying me. I don't know. It's nice to see Kofi. You know what I mean? Nice to see Kofi getting any type of
Another
push,
hometown
whether it's
boy.
a singles or anything. It's just nice to see because he's a very nice guy.
Another hometown boy, though.
Yeah, and nice guy.
Yep.
Kalisto's got a lot of talent for a little dude. Now's the time to strike with this kid. Seriously.
I know.
It really is to push him, get that merchandise out there. It was nice seeing with the Dudley Boys, though,
Yeah.
because, here comes Sin Cara with the bad shoulder, and he said, I didn't come alone. Yeah.
That was,
Here comes
that
the
whole
Dudleys.
Sin Cara thing is a shoot, man.
Yeah,
that was,
yeah, we saw it. You saw it happen.
You watched that bump.
You
and
heard it.
Even on television, on my side of it, I heard that
Oh, yeah.
pop.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, when they turn the cameras away and the ref goes like that, you need help. That's for real.
Right.
If they just go like this a few times, yeah, there comes the fake guys. But you know what? Boom, he was really blew that shoulder out. So
I think with
Get
that
well, brother.
I think with that new little faction with Slater, Axel, Rose, and Dallas, right?
think
They
it's
need to keep Slater the one to talking though.
Yes,
Really,
yes.
He should talk the most. After listening to all three of them, I was just like, wow, man, that was really horrible.
especially Bo Dallas.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the main event was Roman Reigns defeated Sheamus to retain the WWE World title.
But who was the referee?
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's right.
And now he won, but now there's a stipulation that Roman has to win the Rumble
Man.
to stay the champion and defend it at WrestleMania.
Here's the part that's going to piss me off right now.
Yeah.
Because only one other time was that ever happened in the WWE. It was when they didn't have a champion. But
Right.
the Rumble, the winner of the Rumble became champion because it was, I think that was the one where Ric Flair won the title.
Yes. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Roman is the champion going into the Rumble. So now he has to beat 29 other guys. Okay, wait a minute. I could have sworn the last, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 10 years, whatever it is, that you go to the Rumble to win, to go to WrestleMania.
Right.
Okay, so Roman wins. What are they going to clone him and put him in the ring against himself?
I know.
So where's the swerve going?
Right.
This is you totally destroyed this now because even if he gets out,
Yeah.
he definitely loses, but whoever wins the Rumble is the champion.
Is that how it's going to be, or is it if Roman don't win, the title becomes vacant?
Let's say
And they do a title tournament at WrestleMania.
Let's say this
a la like they did that time. Remember? Didn't they have the tournament at WrestleMania one time?
what they're saying that if Roman does not win
Yeah.
that, let's say there's 10 guys left. If Roman gets dumped out, there's 9 guys left.
Right.
He's out.
Right.
Whoever wins the Rumble is now champion.
Wow.
He has to defeat 29 other guys to keep his title. I'm sorry, that is stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. And if they're going to go that route, then I'm hoping he doesn't win.
Amen.
I am, and we get a new champ. Nothing against them.
Nope.
You know what I mean? But like you said, it's kind of stupid for him to have him win it again and stay the champion.
And what's he going to do? Point to WrestleMania and sit there in the middle of the ring by himself?
Who's he going to fight? Yeah. Then they have to work twice as hard to find out who he's going to fight in 2 months.
And I don't like it. That's just, yeah, I don't like it.
Well, guys, we got some sad news here. I'm going to let Derek take this part over. It's been fun. It's been real. But go ahead, buddy.
Thank you, my brother. Muchly appreciated. So I actually have a chance to go down and hopefully work with the Dudleys at their school because they're going full-time with the WWE. So I'm hoping, which I got a phone call from my roommate who happens to be, I told you, was the second guy ever to enter that school. Well, who you would know as King Haku has been down there working and training. So my roommate told me that they were looking for another worker to come down and maybe help out a little bit and so forth. So I'm going to head down to Orlando and see if I can pick up the pace a little bit for them.
There you go. That's it's sad news for us here at Ring and All Other Sports. I got to say something too. Happy birthday! Yesterday was your birthday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
He's getting old. I'm still older than him, but he's getting up there. So your plan is going to be like soon, right? You going?
Yeah.
This is your last show?
Yes, my last show. I'm going to probably leave either Sunday night, whatever it is, so on and so forth. So get down there, start driving down to good old, beautiful, sunny, not 13 degrees Florida.
Yeah, you're lucky on that. That's
Yes.
for sure. Well, speaking of that, then I think I'm going to try to be getting a few, bounce people back and forth to come in on the show. I'm going to talk to a good friend of ours, Bob McCarthy down in Lowell. Who has his own public access shows and stuff. Bob is a great guy, great talented guy. He really is. He's got a lot of talent all around doing different
very
things.
Very talented guy.
The Bob Show is really taking off for
yep.
him. It's like a little skit / Saturday Night Live, in living color type show. I've watched it. It's very, very entertaining.
Check out the Bob Show.
Yeah,
It's good
definitely
stuff.
check out the Bob Show. You can catch that on YouTube. He posts it up on Facebook all the time. And it's most likely on Lowell Public Access Television.
Yes, I believe so.
Great. Like I said, great guy. Bob was definitely planning on coming on anyways. We were planning on just before the holidays. Things happened. We couldn't work it out, so we decided on January. So now's probably the best time for me to bring him in soon, quickly. Because I did one show by myself, and it went okay. I wasn't too comfortable doing it by myself. I think I could, after being, doing more of these shows anyways, I think I could do it.
Yep.
But I really like having, someone next to me. It just makes it for a lot easier, a lot more fun too, getting somebody involved with you. So I'm going to get Bob. I'm going to talk to my nephew, Kevin Polito, who was on last week with us.
What a great guy, too.
Yeah, Kevin's a great kid.
Great kid.
He pulled all his ligaments in his right ankle. Playing hockey.
Oh, man.
Playing deck hockey.
Get well soon, brother.
He's out of work for a while. It's tough. He's got a family. You know what I mean? But he'll be fine. Kevin will be all right. He's a hard-working kid. When he'll get back to work if if things get too tough right away. And Matt Saya and my son Michael, we'll try to get them back on. I got another buddy of mine, Tiago, down in Lowell. I think I can bring him up. We could talk a little. He's a big wrestling fan too, and hockey.
Yeah.
So if I bring Tiago in, we could definitely do that.
There you go, good.
My nephew, Kevin, his brother, that's my nephew-in-law. Kevin's my nephew-in-law. His brother, Alex Normandy's a huge football fan, knows a lot about football.
That's good.
So I could probably bring him in, too, when the playoffs start.
Right.
That would help out a lot, too, So, and then also we're going to go back with our guests with the Skype and stuff, things like that. It's been great having you here, buddy.
Thanks, brother. You know what? Hey, you know what I can do? Maybe I can Skype you from the Dudley camp.
Why not?
Have some guys behind me, see if Bubba and Devon want to drop over and
that would be awesome.
Maybe get 3D'd in front of camera or something. You never know.
Remember when I was talking to Derek before I had him on the thing, and we were going to try to do this little skit thing where he was going to come in, bust through the doors, and call me a big shot, Mr. TV star. But it ended up working out better for us this way.
Big time.
For me.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, for me, it did.
Yep.
It really did. But that would have been funny.
It would have been great.
It was back. I was thinking about all the old public access shows that I used to watch. You know what I mean? The wrestling ones. They always had things like that.
Yep.
Where a guy would bust through the door and start yelling at everybody, and the hosts would be all scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was pretty cool. But so I wish you the best of luck.
I had a great time here, brother. Thank you.
Wow, well, I'm glad. It was great having you here.
We've been friends a long time, man.
Yeah, we have. And we'll stay friends.
Definitely.
The distance is nothing. I have friends, like one of my best friends is Sean Wiggins down in Jersey, you know what I mean? I met him in 2002. We've been pretty damn good friends ever since, That's how I'm a real, like you, I'm a real guy, you know what I mean? If you're my friend, you're my friend.
Right.
I don't care if I haven't, I got friends that I've seen from Facebook from my old neighborhood that I haven't talked to before. I hadn't talked to them in years.
Yeah.
But you just pick right up.
Right.
If you're friends with someone, you pick right up like nothing.
Like you and I did on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is it. We're wrapping up. Sorry to see Derek go. Derek, I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
We've been holding hands here for a while.
I like it, brother. I like it. I'm getting in time to enjoy it. So.
There you go. I hear you. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, why not? I'm a pretty good-looking guy.
Hell yeah, you are.
Teeth, but that's all right.
It's all good.
But listen, that's it from Ringing All the Sports. I'm Leo Connors, Derek Dukes. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.